Remains by Simon Armitage is one of my favourite poems from the AQA anthology on power and conflict. It's a modern poem dealing with modern issues and in a modern conflict. So let's take a look now at a reading by the poet himself, Remains by Simon Armitage.
By Simon Armitage. On another occasion, we got sent out to tackle looters raiding a bank, and one of them legs it up the road, probably armed, possibly not. Well, myself and somebody else are all of the same mind, so all three of us open fire. Three of a kind all letting fly, and I swear I see every round as it rips through his life. I see broad daylight on the other side. So we've hit this looter a dozen times, and he's there on the ground, sort of inside out. Pain itself, the image of agony. One of my mates goes by and tosses his guts back into his body. Then he's carted off in the back of a lorry. End of story, except not really. His blood shadow stays on the street, and out on patrol I walk right over it week after week. Then I'm home on leave, but I blink, and he bursts again through the doors of the bank. Sleep, and he's probably armed, and possibly not. Dream, and he's torn apart by a dozen rounds. And the drink and the drugs won't flush him out. He's here in my head when I close my eyes, dug in behind enemy lines, not left for dead in some distant, sun-stunned, sand-smothered land, or 6 feet under in desert sand, but near to the knuckle, here and now, his bloody life in my bloody hands.
So we've heard the poem read by Simon Armitage. To get the general idea of this poem, the rhythm of it, how it's supposed to be read by the poet. So now let's take a look at how it looks on the page. We're going to look at the very basics, the big ideas, along with the very basic form and structure that's involved in any poem analysis. Let's take a look at that. So when we're looking at form and structure, let's take a look at the big structure first. What is it composed of? It's composed of 8 stanzas with 7 quatrains, followed by a final isolated couplet, 2 lines. So a quatrain is 4 lines of verse, followed by the couplet, which is 2 lines, which stands out. The form of it is a dramatic monologue with a first-person narrator who is a soldier, often interpreted as a therapy session or a flashback, where he's pouring out his emotions, his life now when he's back, the trauma, the PTSD, and how the flashbacks really affect him and keep that trauma going. As it progresses through the structure, it mirrors the narrative shift from the violent, fast-paced, shocking first 4 stanzas to the haunting, slow aftermath of mental torture, which is the last 4 stanzas. There's a lack of rhyme scheme. It rhymes in certain places, and we can write about that. The enjambment and the caesura are both effective in getting across how Armitage wants us to feel about this poem. So that concludes our first look at Remains by Simon Armitage. Hope this video has been helpful. If it has, can you like and subscribe and hit the bell? And I'll see you next time.